welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. Welcome to this, our very first episode of The Inevitable Heart, which we have titled, of course, Home is Where the Heart Is. So, on that loving note, welcome to this, our very spooky game. Hi, thanks for being here. We are so heckin' happy to have you, and thank you for that lovely heckin' raid. Welcome on in, Salty Sweet Games. Heart your heckin' faces. Thank you for being here. Yeah, character art. If you put exclamation point character art, all one word, in the chat, you can find out about our amazing art and who made it. It was in fact made by Felix, the official artist of Heart and Spire. It's really good. Does it not? Hang on. Oh, sorry, it's heart art. I remember now because I made fun of it because I thought it said tart, but it's exclamation point heart art. Sorry, everyone.
Character art does make. I made the command, so character art does make a lot more sense. But
exclamation point heart art. We'll get you the info on our amazing art today. Welcome on in, friends. Thank you for being here. We also want to thank Rowan, Rook, and Deckard, who are the very cool makers of this game. They have given us to give away a full PDF bundle of all the wonderful Heart content. So if you are enjoying this and you want it for yourselves, stick around. We will be doing a giveaway at some point. We will probably do the poll, like announce the word at the beginning of break and then do the poll when we come back from break. We also want to thank Roll20, who does the Spotlight program and who you can currently see this amazing, wonderful map from, and the wonderful spooky noises, which are the official Heart atmospheric sounds, which you can get for yourself. They're available in Roll20 for you to use in your own wonderful spooky games. I also want to mention on the bottom right of the screen, we have marked our knock at the door, and that is how you, the viewers, can participate in the game by sending problems and challenge, maybe not problems, maybe opportunities, knocking at our door, perhaps.
If they're the way I'll run it is if they're in a landmark, if they're in like a specific place, then someone will show up needing help, or some small or medium-sized disaster will strike. If they're on a delve, maybe there will be some distracting thing that will draw their attention away, or I don't know, some monster comes crashing through the wall, something like that.
Something fun and exciting.
Yeah. Good. So like if you're getting bored. If you're getting bored, it's very simple. A nominal fee brings excitement back into the game.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that's not something you have to do in one burst. That is something that we work up to. It's not like you have to give...
You can work together.
Yeah, it's not like you have to give one big old lump sum. It is a bar that we work towards hitting. So every little bit gets us closer.
I have to bore everyone. I have to make sure everyone is bored.
Yeah, so every little bit gets us closer and closer to that knock at the door, and at the end of our show, all of the money generated through that will be split amongst the cast to give these lovely people a nice tip for being here, for being awesome, for playing this spooky game, and going through not a little, probably a lot of dark torment. For fun and amusement. For laughs, you might say. For the lols.
Around here we play Dark Torment for laughs.
Yeah,
Gosh,
for good...
what a concept.
For the good heckin' good times, that you have.
Just for the record, these are Jess's words. And not something that I've been saying. I'm going to subject everyone to Dark Torment.
Dark Torment.
No, it was in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Sign here. You're gonna have to face some dark torment for the lulls, for the
lulls. And since we have brought up, we are playing this game, this dark and spooky game. We are in agreement that we want to be, frightened and scared and have fun and all that, but we are also playing with safety tools and at any time, everyone is encouraged to use any tools and resources available to them. I've just put in the chat for anyone that wants to look at it the safety toolkit, which is now Gold Any winning. Congrats, congrats, congrats! Well
Kudos.
deserved. Heck yeah, safety tools. Heck yeah. And I think I've said enough now. Let's go around and say hi to everyone. I didn't even say hi. I'm Jess. This is my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all for being here, for coming in to come and hang out with us. If you haven't already, hit that follow button so we can hang out and play lots of games like this one. Sometimes softer. Last night we played a game literally called Best Friends Forever, and it was the cutest heckin' thing. And now we're playing like the darkest, spookiest blood body horror game. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything on this channel, so come hang out with us and come participate in the spooky lulls and good times. But yeah, you can find me at go_JG in all the places, and today I'm playing Mellifera, your very organized deep aperist. Yeah, who's here to keep you away from the heart. It's no good. It's dirty and messy, and no one needs that. You know, that's bad times. Let's not do that. Let's go say hi to who's next in line. It's Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. You can find me on the internet at Sam Undamiel, and today I'm playing Vantage. They, them, and Vantage is a dead walker who's made some mistakes, and we just finished like fleshing out some of those mistakes, so they're front of mind right now. But they're always front of mind to Vantage. Vantage is very aware of the mistakes and is trying to be a better person here in the heart. We'll see what happens.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited for more mistakes.
Oh god, so many mistakes.
So many mistakes. I'm very excited. And next up we have Ryan.
Hi everyone, I'm Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at @TheOneTrueK, or you can find me and my games on itch at archon.itch.io. And today I will be playing Roa, the witch, who just really adores knowledge and is willing to do maybe not so great things to get it, but it's all for the greater good, right? I mean, knowledge is powerful.
Seems reasonable to me. I like it. And I just want to mention that our lovely, wonderful Sharon is not with us at the moment. We're hoping to have her back sometime soon, but in the meantime, we wish her well, and we cannot wait for the introduction of her wonderful character, Ochre, who you can see amazing art for and emotion that way. All these amazing character art, they're so good. So, yeah. So, looking forward when we get that intro. But in the meantime, we will throw it over to our game master, Jordan. Take it away.
Jordan, and I wrote a small thing to read. Yeah, I know. I tried to plan a little bit. Every city has a heart, and the towering city of Spire is no exception. However, where other cities' hearts are metaphorical, Spire's heart is very, very real. A writhing, wriggling red hell sprawled out deep beneath the surface, chaos and change made manifest. The heart is unsafe. The heart is a living nightmare. But because people are people, they still try to find pockets of safety down there. Safe havens, actively fighting to keep the heart at bay. But as the good book says, the heart knows what you want, and by the goddess, it'll give it to you or kill you trying. So welcome to the heart, everyone. That last quote is from the very good introduction in the Heart book, which one of you will win today. So I really kudos to the writers, Grant and Chris, for giving a real creepy introduction for the whole thing. We're gonna sort of spend the first little bit introducing Baffling Din, and I've got a few scenes planned out, and we're just gonna start rolling in it. Baffling Din is a towering apartment complex that grows semi-organically The heart, the nature of the heart is that it, at the earliest levels of the heart, it's caverns and caves and things. But you're on tier 2, and things are starting to get a little weird. So I'm going to say that Baffling Din, the Haven of Baffling Din, our little home away from home, has a night and day cycle. Down. The light doesn't come from anywhere. It just is daytime during the day. And nighttime during the night. There is a starry sky above, which, again, doesn't make any sense. But yes, the cavern that Baffling Din has grown into has something of a day and night. And right now, it's nighttime in Baffling Din. And as we kind of, if there was a camera, it would be drifting down amongst these close-packed kind of cuboid apartments that sort of grow like polyps off of each other all over the ever-shifting and knotted interior of Baffling Din, to somewhat more stable-looking site of a graveyard, where our lone deadwalker is filling in a grave that has shown up too soon. So instead of digging a grave, you're filling the hole in a grave. I know we have these excellent illustrations from Felix, but can you give us a bit of a description of Vantage?
So Vantage is a drow who, I'm just coming out and say it, it's very cowboy aesthetic right now. The wide brimmed hat, face in shadow, multiple scarves, the show is live.
Okay.
And yeah, just out here digging a grave, and the way I think I want the death to appear, because my death is always with me, is I think my shadow moves kind of Peter Pan-y.
Sure. So it's not like too heavily physically manifested. It's just always around, and kind of can express itself a little bit differently from how you're moving.
Yeah, when it decides it wants to come out for real, then
yeah,
I'll have to describe that too.
Sure. Okay. So your shadow, your death is, I'm gonna say, the moonlight, of which there is no moon, but there is some light, is casting it sort of beside the gravestone that you're digging, and it's just like leaning up against the gravestone, watching you fill in this hole.
Absolutely not.
As you fill in the hole with dirt, the name on the name fades on the tombstone, as though you are saying, "Not now, not yet." The strange nature of Baffling Din and the Heart generally has made it so that their graveyard is preemptive. Sometimes it has a idea of its own as to when someone should go, and Vantage is there to course correct from time to time.
It'll be embarrassing if I fill this and then they bring that person, but
yeah, you haven't had to actually dig a hole in a long time, so you don't know how you would do it.
Yeah.
So the silence, although there is never full silence in Baffling Din, as the deep apiarist formed wall of buzzing noises that surrounds the place is constant. It's become background noise to you, Vantage, having been here for a long time. And the the buzzing drone is pierced by a kind of deep bark, and then a howl, and then you realize a shadowy shape is coming at you from not too far away. It's got a loping gait. It's hard to tell as it's getting close exactly its form. It's a long boy for sure.
Long boy.
Yeah.
On 4?
On all 4 legs, yeah. And it has it has like a massively loping gait.
I guess I'm gonna ready my rifle.
As the creature moves into the moonlight, you see. Are you familiar with the dog, a borzoi?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sharp boys.
They're sharp, long, pointy boys, and are pretty weird. And so it resembles a borzoi, except that on that long, pointy snout there is no flesh. That's the skin has sort of just receded back across the skull, and its face is just bone and skull. Wet but somewhat friendly eyes still sit in the sockets, and a tongue, long, pink, is hanging out from between the teeth, hanging out of the jaw of the creature. And then amazing golden fur that seems to have had its tips, like it fades into a crimson red, like it had all been dipped into red paint, or I don't know, blood. It is startling at first, but you can see a large golden kind of collar clanking around its neck as it gets closer.
My next question was going to be if I knew this was someone's pet.
Yeah, and when it gets up to you, it like skids to a stop. When I say borzoi, I'm using that as a basic example, but the legs are even more elongated, and its frame underneath this fur is obvious, much more thin, and not unhealthy, but just the heart likes to stretch its monsters out, its creatures out, and so that's something that's happened, and it's big, bigger than even a borzoi. It's probably closer to a real Great Dane size as it comes up. It's more pony than dog. But as it gets up to you, it kind of puts its legs out to slow down in the dirt of the graveyard, and then very awkwardly sits in front of you, tongue lolling out of its mouth.
I have dog treats in my pocket.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put the rifle back and reach into one of the pockets in this great big coat and give this good dog of indeterminate gender a treat. Probably not a pet. I don't think I'm gonna go and ruffle skeletal ears or anything.
It doesn't have any ears.
Okay.
It has the holes in the skull where ears would be. Where eels would be.
You know that famous part of a dog.
Yeah.
Now that is some horror heart shit. Like,
every dog has a little eel that pokes out of its head. Does the talking. So yeah. It's like it looks like the collar is made out of coins. Like it's a bunch of coins that have had holes punched in them and strung together into a necklace, and then a slightly larger coin is hanging from it.
Is this the mayor's dog?
No one really has a pet that looks like this in Baffling Din.
Oh,
This is definitely more high-end, fabulous pet than anyone here.
Well, I'm gonna ask the dog.
Okay.
Hey, shouldn't you be somewhere? Where are you supposed to be?
It looks at you and yips, and then a strangely long back leg comes out and scratches at where the skull meets the fur. And then it starts eating some of the dirt and stuff that's been dug up.
That's a dog.
Doesn't seem like, and I mean, maybe you're surprised, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's going to answer.
You never know. I'm gonna check that collar to see if there's a name on.
There is. Let me just grab it. Boop, boop, boo. 1 second. The name is property. It says property of Rubius Crowfer.
Okay, that sure is a name.
And then underneath it's written, hands off.
Well, should have lost the dog. Alright.
We're gonna zip over to another part of Baffling Din, where our witch Roa wakes up, startled, to the sound of howling and barking. When you don't know, but it's when the dog first arrived. You wake to a start. What were you dreaming about before you woke up?
I think I was probably having a dream of dogs or wolves of some kind.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of manifesting on my body a little bit. My true form is showing a little bit more than it typically does. I probably got a couple of whiskers.
And your claws have torn through the kind of straw mattress that you use as a bed a little bit when you wake up. You shake your hands and they kind of recede back into your fingers. But you immediately hear the yip of the dog again and realize that there's a creature outside that is actually there. It's not just a dream.
Is it like outside the room or outside, like on the street somewhere?
You know it's outside of it seems like it's outside of Baffling Din, like outside of the routes, the alleyways. I guess there's probably no roads. There's only alleyways in Baffling Din. And because the Baffling Din takes on the form that you needed at the time, it's right outside your window that you can look out to the graveyard.
Yeah.
It wasn't when you went to sleep, but that's what it is now. And if you want to take a look,
oh yes, definitely.
You'll see Vantage, a friend, I think you would say, at this point, an ally for sure, someone you can trust to leave you alone, is interacting with and tossing treats to a very kind of strange-looking dog-like creature.
Yeah, I think Ro would kind of sit and watch the scene, like equal parts just curious and equal parts concerned. Like, this could turn at any moment. But let's just watch and see what happens.
And as you watch, the dog flips onto its back and just starts to roll around in the dirt. But you can see, as the hair kind of splays out, you can see that its rib cage, the points of the ribs are like outside of its flesh, where its skeleton seems to be overgrowing itself just a little, overgrowing its own insides just a bit.
Did my dream have any like omens? Did it portend anything like this?
your experience, I think, would be that anytime there is howling beasts, things are going to go south. You said it yourself; it can turn at any time. I mean, I think that's the omen.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it
gonna
probably
leave
lines
it.
up.
I'm gonna leave it up to you whether you think that this creature is the thing your dream was warning you about, or something worse is around the
I mean, I
corner.
think just howls in general don't sit well with Roa.
Mhm.
Just like this kind of because their true form is it's like a manifestation of their betrayal. So like the sanguine tongue, my order, it's like there's a lot of talk about metamorphosis and like ascending to your true form, but because my knowledge was ill-gotten, it's more of a perversion. So I think just like the howls in general just kind of put Roa on edge, and Roa's gonna kind of grab their stuff, just like throw something on and head towards the graveyard.
And last but not least, we will zoom around. We'll buzz on over to Mellifera, pardon me. One of a few deep apiarists that maintain and kind of prune Baffling Din to make sure that its strange blossoming living spaces don't get out of hand. I think that you don't really sleep, Mellifera.
I mean, I can close my eyes, but the bees will continue with what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. So, what piece of machinery are you working on right now? Like, are you somewhere on the outside, maybe higher up, but on the outside of Baffling Din, making sure that, Baffling Din is named for two reasons. One, it creates quite a sound. Even when the town sleeps, there is always this droning hum. But then it also baffles, as in blocks out the noise that is trying to get in. You see, the heart, being a living thing, likes to send messages and lure people into it. And Baffling Din's sole purpose is to keep that song out, that siren song. And Mellifera is the original deep apiarist that got things going here. And so I imagine on the outsides there are these waxy, honeycombed, like gramophone type speakers that are grown out like plants, basically out of the material that Baffling Din's made out of. And they each have these little wax cylinder in them with a finely tuned noise to counter the heart song. So, what are you doing right now?
Well, we've said already that the apartment buildings grow rooms sometimes, like just sporadically on their own. And I think that it grew one at a really odd angle to where that if anyone actually tries to walk inside of that room, it'll likely tip and fall and like damage stuff. So
and all their furniture would slam up against one side.
Yeah, and it's just that's no good. So we need to remove it. It's better no room than an awkward room. It serves no purpose. So I'm just going to remove it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what does that look like?
I like the idea that it's a mix of like, oh gosh, it's like, I want it to be like a Disney princess, but instead of like cute birds and things, like bees bring you tools. Like the bees just like buzz on over with tools. And like, sometimes it's like small, like sometimes I need to like, literally like remove a screw here or there, but then sometimes they literally bring over like entire garden shears and I'm just hacking at it to like remove it. And I've already cleared a space where I've like basically it's like when you're doing arboriculture and you're trimming a tree and you've made a space where you know it's going to fall and they have planned it so perfectly that they know that if they snip exactly here it will teeter over and land in this safe zone, which they have sectioned off with their bees are guarding. In like a little safety cone. Safety honey cone.
So,
look out below. Yes, it's fallen. Mm-hmm.
Your work is interrupted by the same bark that woke up Roa. And what is strange, truly strange about it, is that the bees all stop just for a moment. They're all in the midst of doing things, and when the bark happens, the bees just stop, like stuck in midair, and then they kind of shudder and then continue on their way. And these cosmic bees are wise beyond their years. Like, these bees know not fear. That's how they function. So it can't possibly be that they were startled, because that's not something that happens. But certainly the bark interrupted them and something around them.
Did I feel anything when that?
So I imagine that
I feel like that must be confusing to me, because
the insides of our bodies are constantly moving. Things are pulsing and beating and things. Everything stopped inside of you.
Yike.
You know, like when a car like comes to a halt and then you expect it, your contents shift in a vehicle. That's sort of what happened, except it just froze. All of your organs just stopped operating for a split second.
We do not like that. We stop what we are doing and we like turn right around and start moving down the hallway and find the nearest deep vaporist and tell them that they must go monitor what we were just doing.
Okay.
So we can go deal with this.
As you were like finished the last cut, though, the apartment.
Oh, it already fell? Well,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well, you had described it as falling, but it sort of falls and then sticks to the side and just gets kind of like folded back into the structure. Like the structure kind of consumes the parts so as not to waste them.
That's ideal. That's much better.
The outside of Baffling Din does have some windows on it, but it also, if the apartments are bodies, then all the furniture inside of them are their limbs and organs and things. And some of those things grow on the outside, just like some of our organs grow on our outsides. And so the outside of Baffling Din is kind of a weird pile of like furniture, like tables and chairs and windows at weird angles and doors to nowhere and things. Basically, the raw components of a living space kind of form the outer walls of it. And that kind of spills into the landscape around. The apartment is, the graveyard, pardon me, is sort of immune to that, as Vantage has made it their own kind of space. But there are little, as you head down, there are like little bushes of like lanterns, like bedside table lanterns, little bushes of those that sprout up everywhere, or rocks that look like heaps of laundry that have been put into the corner, kind of thing. And it's just like, it's the definition of hominess is somehow spread out like a virus to the surrounding area. So you said you wanted to head down?
Yeah, I was, if this situation is complete, then we will move along. If there's still something that needs to be monitored, we'll find another deep vaporist, because we are many. But if it's sufficient, I think I'll send over another deep vaporist just in case, because it's better to be certain of these things. And then I will proceed over where this unpleasant barking was happening.
Roa, are you going to head down?
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, and Ryan, a check-in. I'm throwing a dog at you immediately.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. The two of you head down, and Vantage, you get another opportunity to flip over to the other side. This dog's name is Jewel.
Oh.
and it says, "If found, return immediately." And in brackets it says, "No reward."
All right.
Now, did you read out the name Rubius Crowfer out loud?
I
you?
don't. Sam absolutely would have done it, so yes.
Okay. Because as soon as you say the name, the dog kind of makes like its eyes get a little wetter, and it kind of like huffs and then like goes down and looks just real sad. And at that, Roa and Mellifera arrive in the graveyard.
Hey, howdy everyone. So, Jewel arrived. The collar says belongs to name of Rubius Crawford. Looks at dog. Dog don't like that. Crowfer.
Yeah.
Rubius Crowfer.
Not that it matters that much. Everything is made up.
Oh, I did put it no.
Got it.
So I'll give you a bit of the lay of your land here, because unlike some versions of Heart, we're starting with some stuff on the map, because Baffling Din is an established haven, and the first thing that havens will do is to make connections to other havens to try and provide, just like anything else, provide trade and alliances and things. Now, Baffling Din is managed, I guess is the best way to put it, by a Incarnadine. The Incarnadine are priests of a god of debt, and they basically give away. Basically, Incarn has purchased all of their life debt, be it financial, emotional, karmic debt, and in exchange for that, they basically get to pay it off by working for Incarn until their fingers are nubs. But they also are obsessed with kind of subsuming other people's debts and getting things owed to them. And there's probably no better role than a landlord for an Incarnadine. But Baffling Din, being such as it is kind of infinitely providing more place for people to live, which is a pain, because we need you need demand so that the Incarnadine can provide supply. Our Incarnadine is named Audacia Garnet. She's a drow, and I've decided she wears something like a red, like, power suit, like she's the villain, the boss villain in an 80s office, comedy. There are details of bone and lots of silver and gold along all of it, but she definitely always looks sharp. Her face, however, kind of betrays her, as keeping Baffling Din organized is running her ragged. I bring up Audacia because her first plan was to make sure that there was a safe route to the Red Market, which is the home and headquarters of the Incarnadine. It is exactly what it sounds like. A rambling tent market that has anything and everything for sale, and not just physical things either. So in between, a landmark is a static place. Baffling Den is a landmark. Red Market is a landmark. In between landmarks are things called dells. They are the somewhat more unstable connections that you have to travel along to get between places. Every delve has its own characteristics and own tags and own things. And sometimes there will be a way to make a connection, meaning you anchor it somehow to make it easier to travel back and forth. You have one connection already, and that is the Red Queen's Way, which is the route between Baffling Din and the Red Market. It's been traveled so regularly that it is considered somewhat secure. There are a couple of other routes out of Baffling Din. There's Bookbinder's Drop, which no one has gone down, and the moral path, which is a route up to Redcap Grove, which is a sometimes ally, sometimes squabbling opponent of Baffling Din, and we'll learn more about those folks, strange folks, as needed. So, all of this is long story long to say that there's a chance that Jewel has come down the Red Queen's way from the Red Market, and has gotten lost, perhaps traveling with someone, or got separated. So if Rubius Crowfer is anywhere nearby, he's in the Red Market. Oh, and the Red Queen refers to the current kind of leader of this sect of the Incarnadines, Carmine Hypatia, sorry. But she's just known as the Red Queen, because the Incarnadines are known for their red robes.
Vantage, this is not your creature?
No.
So it doesn't need to stay, is what I'm hearing.
Well, where are you gonna put him?
Well, somewhere other than here. We would just like it to go away.
Well, I just don't want to. It's a good dog.
And it swings its bony head over towards Vantage, and the tongue, which seems to stretch a little too far, like lolls out of the side of its mouth. And I mean, skulls have grins by default, so it grins at
You have an interesting idea of what a good dog is. This Rubius Crowfer, an old friend of yours?
Never heard of him before.
Dog? Do you belong to this one, Rubius Crowfer?
As soon as you say Rubius Crowfer, Jewel turns to you and looks excited, looks excitedly around. Its eyes kind of rolling in the sockets almost independently of each other. And then, and when it obviously can't see its owner, it starts to make a little bit of a whine and mope.
Why do you not go back to them, dog?
Again, the dog doesn't answer. A few of your bees sort of drift out to it exploratorily and land on the skull and kind of like climb inside the nostrils and out and like all around inside of its mouth. And it doesn't seem to flinch because it doesn't have, it just bone doesn't feel anything.
They don't seem unkeen with it?
They have a bit of a twitch to their bee bums as they return.
I take a step back.
Jewel bites onto Vange's duster and sort of just tries to pull them seemingly towards the Red Queen's way. But it's late, and even Vantage needs to sleep.
Alright, Jewel, how's this? We'll get some rest. In the morning, we can continue this conversation, friends. And maybe we take the dog back.
That would make it leave.
You do have a sort of a secondary reason or an upside to going anyway. Your friend Ochre, local head of the Hounds, and also kind of representative of Baffling Din, had made her way to the Red Market, a fairly common trip for her, just earlier today. So at the very least, you can maybe run into her, and she might have some guidance as to what to do next. But there will be at least someone there.
And I am due to pick up some more supplies. I suppose a trip to the Red Market wouldn't be a complete waste of time.
Get the dog out of here in a safe manner.
Safe is an interesting word.
Safe is always in air quotes.
So who's gonna stay with the dog? I know the answer already. I need to ask.
I guess dogs will stay with me.
The dog did search you out, so it would be unkind of us to separate it from the person it wanted.
Yes, and ideally, if you have a means of keeping it quiet. Actually, hang on. Can I get my bees to like make me a honey chew toy that's real sticky so it sticks its mouth shut?
Sure. Yeah, a few of the bees go out onto one of the platforms on your shoulder and just start chewing up pieces of your waxy flesh and reforming it into a very accurate representation of a femur. Like it's exactly 3D printing of a wax 3D printing of a femur. And 6 of the bees fly it down to the dog, who starts kind of chewing on it. And like when you give a dog peanut butter or something, it's like yeah. That sound in itself is a little unsettling, but it's not going to travel all the way up to Baffling Din for sure. It's not going to pierce the sound wall. Okay.
Much more ideal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll meet up in the morning and take a dog for a walk.
As you all retire, what is Vantage's home look like? Do you actually stay in Baffling Din proper, or do you have a little shack of some kind?
I was imagining there was a small structure in the graveyard that is both shed and small living space, and when people need to have a cry, it's like, well, there's a couch, have that. Funeral home, bedroom, and shed in one cube.
So by your shack, as you head back with the dog, there is Baffling Din's equivalent of a tree. It's actually what looks like a couple of dozen just common looking chairs that grow out into branches and things, and sitting sort of reclined in one of the chair branches is a local character to Baffling Din, a druid who has grown attached to the place but doesn't want to live in it, called by the name of Theophilus Hat. Most people just call him the Hat, but because he does have a strange classic cartoon topped top hat that has some plants and things, strange plants overgrowing out of them. Presumably his hair has also just turned into soil, and he doesn't really he doesn't wear a whole lot. He's got a big beard that wraps around him a few times, and his pants have long turned into decayed shorts, and no shoes, no shirt, no shoes, no problem for old Theophilus Hat. And so he kind of lounges in the chair, and he says, Mighty fine pup you got there.
Oh, it's not. It's not mine.
Well, it's yours now. You found it. Law of salvage.
Or when take it back to who it belongs to. Not right now.
You're gonna test it out. See if you change your mind.
I was gonna get some sleep.
Well, I think it would be nice to have a dog around here. Not enough animals crawling all over this place.
I mean, we have the pups. It's basically the same thing.
They're more like bugs. Crawling in and out of places. This is a real dog.
I think. Look at the dog. Think about dogs that I may have met, not in the heart. Like, yeah.
Theophilus kind of pours himself out of the seat that he's sitting in and drops down to the ground. And he's like a very old, knobbly man, and he almost moves. His fingers are very like thick but long, like a simian almost, and he moves half on his hands and half on his upright, and walks up to the dog and he says, "You're a good boy, ain't you? You're a good little boy." And he like pets. He's just like ruffling the fur around his neck, and that long tongue kind of comes out and licks across his face, and the kind of dirt that covers the hat's face all the time is like wiped away. This is a real good dog. You'd be lucky to have a dog like this.
Well, I'll go see the proprietor of this dog. And if that person is not up to snuff, maybe the dog comes back.
Can you? What does this say? And he holds up the dog's tag. I lost my glasses 50 years ago.
It says property of Rubius Crofer.
That sounds like an Incarnadine name.
Yeah, I don't want to accrue debt by keeping a dog too long.
His whole demeanor kind of changes, and he sort of hops back a little bit and says, yeah, this dog maybe ain't worth the trouble.
Seems like a very fine dog, but
too fine, perhaps. Insured, I think. And he like goes back over to the tree and pulls himself up. You're smart, Vantage. I seen you thinking, quiet at night. Don't mess with them. Get this thing back. We already got one Incarnadine. We don't need them all raining hell on us.
Nah, one's enough.
That's something we can't afford. And he like climbs into a different part of the cherry tree and stretches out across a couple of them to. He pulls his hat down over his face.
You're staying?
He's already asleep.
I'm gonna close the door behind the dog. Say, all right, Jewel.
It's already up on the couch.
Perfect. We'll head out in the morning. Just don't wake nobody up. And then, gonna head to bed.
So...
Oh, I am going to prepare an extra shoe in case the hat starts to snore.
Okay. To chuck at the...
Yes.
Better than a rifle round, I suppose. So, you Baffling Din has the Din part of Baffling Din is known for two reasons. One, the noise canceling noise that the heart song canceling noise that the atheists maintain. But everyone else understands the other reason that it's considered to be filled with a din as morning, our equivalent of morning comes, and the city, the town wakes up. There is no room. There is no room to have a private conversation in Baffling Din. Everything you say, louder than a whisper, is heard by probably at least a dozen other people, as everyone is so jammed in close together that, and walls get thinner and thinner as more space keeps getting added. Yeah, your privacy, noise is a constant part of the life of the people in Baffling Din, and so that's what you all wake up to, or again, your equivalent of waking up. That when, as the bees revivify you, Mellifera, even the buzzing that you have come to love so much, or appreciate if you don't feel love, is overshadowed by the sound of people arguing and laughing and singing. The only unchaotic sound here is the song that often gets sung. And though some may try and bring new visitors to Baffling Din, will bring songs of their homelands in the city above, the tunes always come back to the one song, the song of Baffling Din, the ultimate earworm. And so yeah, you all wake up to that sound, for good or for ill. And yeah, we're gonna say that there's a knock at Roa's door.
All right. I'm imagining, like, my place is more vertical than horizontal. Like, at the bottom is where I will do readings for people. And then there's, like, a ladder up against one of the walls that goes up into this, like, almost like a crawl space, which comes out into my bedroom.
Like a loftish kind of thing? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, down at your business, the doorway to your business, there's a knock, knock, knock.
Yeah, I answer the door.
At the doorway, darkening your doorway is Audacia, and she says, "Ochre isn't back yet. She's supposed to be back last night. Have you seen anything?" And you know what I mean.
Yes. I have not seen anything. What are you worried of?
Well, Ochre's like a ticking clock. We expect she arrives on time. Aren't you a little concerned? She's your friend. I occasionally look out my window and see you talking to each other. I understand that there are friendships that form here occasionally.
Yes, I also trust Ochre to take care of themselves, so... But if
I'm not worried about her ability to take care of herself, Roa. My concern is Baffling Din.
Come in.
Oh, I don't have time for that. You just need to find her and bring her back.
A reading would speed the process up.
If you're trying to weasel some cash out of me, it's not going to work.
You have a one-track mind. Look, I could do a reading on myself. It would yield probably nothing, but your connection to Ochre is of a more professional nature, and being this professional concern, I expect that you would be able to offer something. But if you don't have time, by all means, continue on your way.
Are we going to learn something that's different from you need to go and find her?
Well, I wouldn't know until I do the reading now, would I?
You have 5 minutes. She slumps into the chair. And I imagine there's a table with a couple of chairs on either side.
Yeah. I think I go about setting up for the rituals. Probably involves like lots of candles being lit and arranged on the table in a particular manner. And I take my sacred blade and I look at Adesha. Are you okay with this? I know you've done it before, but well.
Fine. She rolls up the sleeve, and there's like all this like golden jewelry wrapped around her wrist, and she just puts her hand out. She's not even looking at you. Her legs are crossed, and the leg that's crossed on top is like kicking violently, basically, impatiently.
Yeah, the sacred blade's very thin. I'm almost like a stiletto. And this is more like a pinprick as opposed to like a full-on cut or slash.
Like slash. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just enough to get like a couple of drops of blood, and I let it drip onto the table as I think I have to I touch my hand to the pool, and as I'm doing so, it probably feels like the lights around are starting to darken as the blood itself starts to rearrange itself into like some kind of picture or something.
Sure. Are you using Crimson Mirror?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's tied to a delve. And I'm assuming that this delve is going to be your trip.
That's what I was assuming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, let me just double check that there isn't a roll or anything here. Oh, there is.
Roll discern plus occult.
Our first roll of the game. So, in Heart and Spire, the resistance system, you use D10s, and every character has a bunch of abilities, but they also have some skills that they have access to, and domains, which are kind of like areas of expertise. And every skill roll, or every roll, requires a combination of a skill and a domain. And so Crimson Mirror has its own built one in. The skill is Discern, and the domain is Occult. And when you're rolling, you get one die just for luck, and then you get a bonus die if you have the matching skill, a bonus die if you have the matching domain, and then if you have something that provides you with mastery, you'll get another die. People can help each other and give bonus dice as well, but Roa's on their own right now, so yeah.
Okay.
So I imagine you have both of those things.
Yeah, I have Discern and Occult.
So that'll be 3 dice.
3D. Okay. Ooh, my highest result is a 3.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately. So an 8 or 9 is a success. A 10 is a success with gusto. A 6 to 7 is a success at a cost, a partial success. And then 5 or lower is a fail. And Roa was looking at the top, the highest die rolled was a 3, I guess. That's bad.
I rolled 3 and 1 and 1, so starting out good.
The blood spreads out across the mirror, very thinly. Like it seems to. It almost is like the mirror itself is the mirror itself is bleeding more blood from somewhere, and it spills out across and thins itself out, and it forms into 2. It starts to boil and forms into like 2, like an open jaw, like fangs. And just there is a howl. It's distant, like, and you're pretty sure that the Incarnadine doesn't hear it. It's just far, far at the back of your head. And she looks down at it, and you shake your head, and everything sort of returns to normal. And she says, "Is it working?"
Consider it psychic interference.
And speaking of psychic interference, whenever you fail a roll or succeed partially, you take some stress. Our characters in Heart have 5 different stress tracks: mind, blood, mind, fortune, supplies, and echo. You can kind of think of them as hit points, not really, but stress is problems accumulating on your character. So I'm gonna roll a d4 and give you that much mind stress in this situation, because obviously spells are a toll on you. You get 1 mind stress.
Okay.
And every time a character takes stress, they also roll a d12.
Okay.
This is to check for fallout. If stress is nicks and cuts, fallout is broken arms and pierced lungs and that kind of stuff. If you roll equal to or lower than your total stress, you suffer some fallout, which I probably didn't happen unless you rolled a 1.
No, I rolled a 5.
Okay. But that mind stress will stay with you and start to accumulate as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Frustration, obviously, a little bit as something doesn't your magic.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
there's also a bit of a headache and just it almost feels like clouded vision. Like my vision's fine, but it just at least for a little bit is gonna just everything seems a bit off. Yeah, perhaps I was too optimistic. I'll find Ochre. Don't worry.
Audacia looks at you and says, "Well, this was time well spent. Thank you." And she gets up. Find her. Bring her back.
Yes.
She's the only one that the other hounds listen to.
All right. Be on your way.
Oh, and I saw Vantage had some kind of mutt with her this morning. With them this morning. No pets. It's in the contract.
You do like to watch.
It's in the contract. No pets.
There are a lot of things in that contract. Be interested if you ever read it.
I know what's in it. And as you can see, I've never been seen with a pet. She closes your door. No, she's an asshole. She leaves it open. Within seconds, there are a couple of pups that are like peering in. They're like fingers like grab around the side of the door and they just like have these super wide grins. It's what happens if a door is left open too long.
I think Roa wants to say something but doesn't. Just kind of rolls their eyes and goes back up to the loft to collect their things for the delve.
Okay. Mellifera. What does morning look for Mellifera look like?
We wake up and kind of probably spend some time just quietly. We don't even need to necessarily sleep. We just like relax and meditate and let the bees kind of take the bees kind of like take the stress from inside of us and they literally take it out and they do a little dance, they shake it all off. Mellifera stays perfectly still with their eyes open, not blinking, while their bees do morning bee exercises and shake off all the any stress that they had from the day before. And then they probably go and check on the other aparists to make sure.
I imagine little bee aerobics classes on your shoulders.
Yeah, they definitely do little bee stretches. They shake their little bumbly butts around. They dance in. We discussed this. They don't do They don't square dance. They like hex dance.
That's right.
But it's all perfectly like in time. So imagine like 100 bees moving like perfectly in a perfect hex dance and shaking their little bee butts.
I'm imagining it.
It would be adorable, but also these are like occult bees. These are not normal bees. Let's be real here.
There's something up with these bees. Okay.
There's something special about these bees. And then they all return and crawl inside their various homes and hives and bits and bobs. Wherever they are comfortable. We probably put our hands over our heart and check in with the queen, who literally resides in our heart. And then we go to check on and make sure if all the other debaperists are okay, and probably like in their long dress that like touches the floor, it almost looks like they're kind of just hovering along. They move so perfectly. And anytime there's like too loud of a like laugh or a song that's not the ones that are supposed to be there, they stop and they look disapprovingly at it. And then they return to what they were doing. And yeah, if we were gonna go, they would check in with the other debaperists before checking in on Vantage this morning. I suppose if Vantage lives outside, Roa lives closer. I could go get Roa before we head down to find Vantage.
Sure. Anywhere that you want to meet. It seems like probably down at Vantages is probably makes the most sense.
Well, I expect any way that you would take to get to the graveyard will probably pass in front of Roa's place right now anyway, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're on the way.
Convenient.
Very convenient. Okay. Yeah. You just pick a direction and go, and...
We pick the most efficient direction.
Sure. But also, it is provided to you by Baffling Din.
Yes.
It's one and the same. Subconsciously, you know that this is the right way to go. Unconsciously, or it isn't apparent to you. It shifts. Baffling Din shifts, and now it is just you're just standing in front of Roa's apartment. You didn't notice when the change happened, but it did. The door was still left open, so you may have to shoo away some pups that have crawled out of the woodworks.
Don't you all have somewhere to be?
One of the pups, their heads snap towards you, their little newsboy cap tilted back on their head jauntily, and says, "Gov, we're everywhere."
I know.
Nowhere to be. Already everywhere.
Well, I need to get in there, so if you would kindly move.
You got anything fun on you?
I like just hold up my hands and a bunch of bees just fly out.
We seen the bees, ain't we? And then the couple other pups that are there like nod. We seen the bees. Boring. And then they start like dissipating, and one of them like climbs up a wall into a vent. The other two, one lifts a sewer grate, and they both crawl in. You see like spindly, like preteen fingers like grab onto the sewer grate and just pull it shut. I'd imagine at this point, Roa, you probably come down.
Yeah. I look over. Your tea is over there if you want it. It's like a mushroom tea or something.
Ooh. We appreciate it. Go over and have some tea.
Shall we go?
Appreciate that you know what we desire before we ask. Not enough do that.
It's efficient, isn't it?
Yes, efficient. Thank you.
What? There's just always tea in Rose. I don't think it's like an actual like a plan. It's just like, yeah, I brewed some tea.
There's just always tea here.
Yeah.
What a good home.
Yeah, this is very good.
And
It's not like an inconvenience. Yeah.
And Audacia definitely did not get any tea.
She probably doesn't
deserve
even
the tea.
realize how much of a like spurn that was on her.
Shall we head on our way? We have a dog to return and a companion to find.
A companion to find.
Oh yes, Ochre hasn't returned and Adesha sees some kind of financial failing in this.
That is
Sorry, go on.
very unlike her, that's all.
Yeah, I think we should, at the very least, investigate this.
Vantage, you woke up with Jewel in your bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that's how this was gonna go.
Its long boy face on the pillow beside you. When you wake up, its mouth opens in what should be a grin, but is just the hinge
Just
of
teeth,
a lower jaw bone separating from the skull.
Does it creak slightly?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's kind of a leathery kind of squeak to the muscles that attach to that control the jaw.
Love it. Love to see it.
And there's just this wet spot on the pillow beside you from where its tongue has obviously been lolling for most of the evening.
Great.
One thing you do notice, spending so much time near this thing, is that it smells amazing.
The dog?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, it just smells like a bouquet of flowers, basically. Even its breath.
I was expecting
the raw stench of
dog
death
to smell worse than a regular dog whose breath smells
like
terrible.
Death.
Yeah. In your face. With the tongue coming for kisses.
Do you allow the kisses?
Is there enough meat left to be it?
Oh god. Yeah, you know what? I think Vantage, while not surprised, is like still slow in the grogginess of waking up, and there isn't much of a choice to the kisses.
Yeah. And as soon as it delivers its sloppy smooch, Jewel sort of rolls out of bed and very excitedly starts kind of yipping at your door. Like, time to go.
All right.
Grabs on one of your boots and flings it towards you.
Useful. Actually, efficient. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the boots on, get dressed, make myself a cup of whatever passes for coffee, probably sweetened with honey, because that's probably the sweetener we have.
It would be a waste not to use the honey.
Yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
And I figure when Mellifera and Roa show up, I am for the fun of it. I'm sitting in a chair against the door of the shed. The dog is inside the shed. I was afraid that they would take off without us.
Right. So the dog is still inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unhappy with me, I'm sure.
So as Roa and Mellifera, as you walk up, there's like the scratching of claws on the back of the door. And kind of a mournful kind of...
Oh no.
Jewel thinks you took too long this morning.
Well, there were interruptions, but...
Oh, I'm not. It's fine.
Should we
Some
get
other-
going then?
Sure. I'm gonna get up, move the chair, and open the door.
Oh, my apologies. Roa, you had something you wanted to share?
Oh no, just, Ochre has not returned yet. Thought perhaps you'd like to know, but Adesha has tasked me with bringing her back.
Oh, I mean, a bit of a freebie, since that's probably what we were going to do anyway. So.
Yes, well. You know how Adesha is.
Glad she visited you instead.
Hmm. Well, it seems like you already had a guest all night, so.
Oh, is the hat still around?
Oh.
He has sort of been dozing all morning, and he's rolls over in his weird chair tree bed and says, "Now get that dog out of here. Nothing but trouble."
Thought he liked it. This is out of character. He specifically was like,
Yep.
"That's a good dog."
But once he realized it was Incarnadine, belonged to Incarnadine, he said it wasn't worth the trouble.
That's too bad. Yeah, it's a dead dog.
Dead dog.
It's a dead dog.
Yep.
It's a student loan made flesh.
Oh no! Get it out of here! This is the worst kind of curse imaginable.
As the hat kind of gets more awake, he like digs through the beard and pulls out like a little flat-capped mushroom that seems to be growing amongst his beard, and just sort of eats it. Breakfast, also lunch, usually dinner. Well, you know.
Take it where you can find it, I suppose.
If you don't mind, Hat, could you keep an eye on the place while I'm out?
Yeah. I'll keep both of them on it. And then he rolls over and he's facing the opposite direction. Thumbs up as you're like.
Isn't there a saying about good help?
Well, there's also a saying about you get what you paid for.
Sure is. Alright, so let's get Jewel back home and find Ochre and
Let's do that.
Yeah.
The sooner that creature is out of here, the better.
ruffle.
So as you head over to, as you get further away from Baffling Din, its influence kind of changes and spreads out a little bit. Like I said, all the things that you would expect from a natural cavern are here, but they're all formed out of furniture and bits and pieces of people's lives. As you head towards the tunnel that will take you to the Red Market, it's actually a repurposed Vermisian track that is barely recognizable. Raiders, we're the streamers. Raiders.
we are the ones who do the stream. Hello, wandering DM. Welcome on in, friends. We are playing Heart, so I am gonna throw the content warning in chat for y'all. This is a dark and spooky game of delves and weird, wonderful things. Currently we are trying to find a skeleton dog's owner.
It's only
Not entirely a skeleton.
Kind of. I was just thinking like a bone borzoi.
It's fluffy and fuzzy,
except for some parts.
His face is bony. That's
Okay. So he's not.
The
he's
ribs
not
are a little
quite.
bony. Yeah, its
he's
belly
not
is bony.
quite dead yet.
He's all too alive.
Yes.
So
So welcome on in.
Yeah, thank you, Raiders. So as you head to the opening to the Red Queen's Way, some of you I'm sure have traveled this route before, but the tunnel kind of, the aesthetic of Baffling Din starts to crash with the aesthetic of the Red Market, and the various bits and pieces of buildings that form the landscape around Baffling Din sort of recoagulate into shops, like shop fronts that market tents that kind of pop up in the walls of the cavern all along. And down the middle is a pristine gilded railway that has been polished by the serfs that work isn't the right, that are that are controlled by the Incarnadine, and elaborate push cars, the classic kind of pump action rail cars, with even more elaborate thrones for their and seats for the Incarnadine are what are most commonly seen traveling back and forth along here. So as you get there, as you get into the tunnel, there are strings of fairy lights that are hanging all across, and your way is lit, and it's almost impossible. It's too bright as you gaze in, as the light bounces off the gold and silver of this, and deep reds, obviously, of the Red Queen's Way. And I think we're going to take, I know we just got raided, but I think we're going to take a little break.
Yeah, we will take a short little break. We're gonna get up and do a stretch and get drinks and hydrate and all that good stuff, and y'all should do the same. But also, in the meantime, this wonderful game, Heart, we have been gifted some copies by Rowan, Rook, and Deckard, who are awesome, and we want to thank you. There, I just did it. See, I said I wanted to do it, and then I did it. I did it all in one go. So what should our code word be? Give me a heart. Our giveaway keyword.
Efficient.
Of what?
Efficient.
Okay.
So the running theme of this first half.
It's true. I mean, we seem to be pretty keen on it, so I like it. Okay, so the code word, if you all give me just 1 second, will be efficient. And all you have to do is put efficient. Efficient, all one word, as it's only one word, in the chat for your chance to win not only the main game of Heart, but also all the extended PDFs they have. What does that include, Jordan?
Well, it includes the Sanctum supplement, which is what we're kind of using for our campaign right now, where the group builds a haven together and tries to keep it standing against the Heart. It also has the Burned and Broken supplement, which lets you sort of port your Spire characters into Heart characters, which is really fun. And also lets you play as a Ministry operative from the Spire down in the Heart. And then there is Doors to Elsewhere, which is basically the Heart's equivalent of Sigil, which from the D&D mythos, which is the City of Doors, where you can travel to all kinds of weird places, and the shadows kill you, of course. And there's the other one, the fourth one, that is really good one, Vermisian Black Ops, where you basically inspire, you play the spies that do all of the subterfuge and cloak and dagger stuff. In Heart, you're a little more meat oriented, and sometimes the Spire folks don't want to get their hands bloodied, and so you play as a faction running missions for the city, for the drow of the city above. Honestly, it's such an amazing set of books, and it will just give you so many ideas for your own campaign. So put efficient into the chat for a chance to win. You'll have until the end of break, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. So all you got to do is type efficient into the chat for your chance to win all that good stuff. We do have another giveaway that will be happening later in the season. This is the first one, so get in on it. We will pull that when we come back from break. So yeah, get up, do a stretch after you type efficient into the chat, and then we'll see you back here in a few minutes. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching so far.
Hello, we are back. How was your break? It was a good one. I hope you got up, did a stretch, got some water.
My quote as they came in. just looking at pictures of Borzois. That's the last thing I said.
It's an important. You were doing real GM work. That's your job. Is to know how to explain a Borzoi.
Well, also, that definitely counts as a break.
Yeah, looking at dogs. That's,
Looking at, yeah. Well, for some people.
that's right.
Thanks.
But yes. We are back. Thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out. Thanks, everyone who is here. We will now do our giveaway. If it wasn't going to cause absolutely terrible audio, I would drum roll on my table right now. But honestly, just everyone in the chat, just put like... Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you in chat. Perfect, perfect. Text-based drum rolls, please. We will now pull the winner of our amazing heart PDFs is... Did you apply? I gotta re-roll this. You don't get it. I'm sorry.
Of course it was me. Yeah.
Listen. This is not have it. This is no.
I'll keep the copies in a separate folder as the ones that I won.
No, I'm re-rolling this. I'm sorry, everyone. We are doing this again. Let's try Eric Laz. Eric Laz, please speak up in the chat so that we can find you for this awesome prize of heart PDFs. And once again, not just the main one, the whole 9 yards of heart content.
Five
you got
books.
it all. Maximum creepy spooky times. You got it.
Yeah, what they need is an email from them. So however this, I think you can private message Jess maybe.
Yep.
Or...
Got it. Perfect.
Okay.
We're good. Congratulations, Eric. Thanks for being here, for hanging out, and I hope you enjoy all your new heart content. Heck yeah. Perfect. Gotcha.
All right. Where we left off, you were about to embark on a delve, a well-worn delve, but a delve nonetheless, along the Red Queen's Way to the Red Market, the sort of home base of the Incarnadine down in Hart. A large, sprawling, indoor-outdoor market that has anything and everything for sale. So, and as I described before, it's a retrofit Vermissian line tunnel. The Vermissian is a cursed train network that never was, which I'll get into later when if it becomes more relevant. But now all there is just abandoned train lines that are like veins that spread out from the heart, and they have been repurposed and salvaged where possible. This tunnel is very has borrowed a lot of the energy from Baffling Din, and melded with the Red Market and to form into sort of this long stretch of strange windowed shops and sort of like, I've never been to Disney World or anything, but I think Main Street or whatever in Disney World, you know, you walk down and there's all these kind of like, it's like a main street anywhere, you know, like down the middle of a little western town kind of thing. But there's all these shops that have grown seemingly out of nowhere, and Incarnadine never to give up a good free real estate has moved into. They've all moved into these different shops, and there's a train. There's the track of the Vermissian repurposed to transport Incarnadine back and forth along this route, and they're all on what did I call them? Guild handcars, which were manual ways to get up and down trains. The Incarnadine are surrounded by their serfs. Serfs aren't quite slaves, but they are owned, I guess. I don't know. It's what it is. They are the toadies that kind of do the bidding of the Incarnadine, and owe little bits of themselves and their lives to the Incarnadine. Sort of worshippers meets acolytes meets employees. And so as you start your way into the tunnel, there is the sound of the wheels on the track further up, just kind of a simple thud 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 as these hand cars move along. Whenever it's only one track, so whenever two have to cross, the serfs have to manually lift the one car off the track so the other one can pass, and it is quite an ordeal.
So it becomes like part palanquin.
Yes, but the palanquin is made out of steel, gilded steel, and isn't meant to be lifted. So we're entering into a delve, which is sort of a separate, mechanically separate part of Heart. In Heart, delves are kind of treated the same way that adversaries and monsters are. They have a resistance, sort of like hit points. It's a stress, the amount of stress that they can take, and exploration of the delve and survival of the delve involves doing stress, attacking the delve and doing stress. Attacking doesn't necessarily mean swinging a sword at the delve, obviously.
But
yeah, well, fighting a monster that is in your way, that could in turn advance the delve, but also helping people that are along the way. I'm going to present you with some obstacles, and as you deal with the obstacles, you're going to roll to also do to try and do some stress to the delve. And when that stress, the delve runs out, or the delve runs out of stress, you've reached the other side. The purpose of making connections, so like the connection we have here between Baffling Din and the Red Market, is that it cuts the stress, the resistance in half. So the usual stress for this delve is 12. Now it's only 6 because it's such a well-worn path. And normally I won't tell you that number, but I'm telling you that so that we can understand the game. You'll have opportunities to make other connections between other places as well. All right. As you move through, there are merchants standing in doorways that are just like waving products of different things, various different manufactured jewelries and strange sundries. There's places that have delicious but unusual smells coming out of them, the little bakeries and that kind of thing all along the way. And one scent sort of rises up above the others, and as you move forward, and also the Jewel is very excited, obviously, sort of running over to every Incarnadine and sniffing them, in hopes of finding their owner. But Mellifera, the sense of this place sort of drop away, and you smell something that you have not smelled in a long time. So to give a little bit more background about how weather and things work in the Heart. The Heart, time is wibbly wobbly. Wearing a watch is pointless. Havens will use bells to kind of ring out different parts of the day. Baffling Din is lucky enough to have a day and night cycle, so a little bit of structure, but generally it's bells when in Haven, and it's rang every 8 hours or something like that, just to keep people a little organized. As far as the Heart, it sort of has seasons. They're called pulses. And all of you have been down here long enough that you know you can sense the changing of the pulses and things. And right now, unfortunately, the Heart is in swelter. And though the kind of buzzing sound provides something of a cooling effect as well in Baffling Din, now that you're heading down this tunnel, everything just has a little bit of a drip of sweat on it, and it's warm. The couple of like animals that are being kept sort of as shop animals and things all seem kind of agitated when Jewel gets too close, or any of you get too close. Something cat-like in a window like hisses and goes back into the shadows of the shop as you pass by. So a lot of this, I mean, the tunnel is wider than some. It's a train tunnel, and there's lots of room on either side of the track. But it's still more cramped than the area around Baffling Din. And so a lot of what you're smelling is just people, because there's people shopping and moving around. But Mellifera, that smell kind of disappears somewhat as you smell the scent of rain, rain on grass and dew. A scent very familiar to you.
We look around confusedly.
Do you want to try and figure out where it is?
Yeah. Where's...
Okay.
Like, and this would look very odd, because normally, like, Mellifera would not deviate from a path, would not, like, you know what I mean? But this is... This would be so confusing, because... Mellifera is... Well, Mellifera was from the Eastern Kingdoms. They were from outside the Spire before. So this would have been common to them in their life before, but they don't often think of their life before joining the Hive and becoming one and sort of having their mission and everything like that. They wouldn't necessarily... Like, this would be very confusing.
So, if you'd like to try and track it down, I'll get you to roll a Discern Wild roll.
Discern Wild?
Yeah, and it's important that we kind of get into the habit of me telling you what kind of stress is likely to be on the line if you should fail. For now, it's going to be fortune stress. So blood and mind are very obvious. Those stresses involve having troubles. When you're seeing things that are unsettling, you might take mind stress. And then when you're getting beat up, you might take blood stress. But fortune stress is sort of your general bad luck accumulating. And it could be from being too nosy. It could be from bother. It could result in people being around you being suspicious or just bad things occurring. So that's fortune stress, which is it's going to be pretty common stress until you start getting into fights or doing magic-y things. So that being said, you're free to roll a discern wild if you want to try and figure out where the rain is coming from.
Yeah, okay. I'm not good at that. So I checked.
Do you have either of them?
I have neither of those things. I don't have discern and I don't have wild.
So anyone who has discern or wild can offer to help, but you would have to let them know that this is what you're doing.
Okay, so I definitely think this looks like, as I said, Mellifera normally doesn't, like, would not just, like, go off and do something without saying something, and I think just the fact that they, like, pause in their steps and, like, stop moving and just look around is odd. And then when they are unable to immediately discern what's going on, they would Do you that a smell, do either of you smell that? It doesn't belong here.
You're both passing by what appears to be a butchery of some kind of thing, and there's like a barbecue kind of smell that's kind of overwhelming the area. And so that's what you smell most prominently.
I take it you don't mean food.
No, it's not of the heart.
Does Vantage have discern?
Neither.
Okay, yeah. I have discern.
If it can be shot, I can do it. But
if it can be shot.
Someday you may be able to kill a
just
smell.
Shoot a smell.
but not yet.
What is it that you've noticed?
We can't. They
As Mellifera, as they are thinking, all of the bees that are like on the shoulder are all leaning forward as they are, pardon me, and their antennae are just like twitching all in the same direction, as all of them are smelling at the same time.
I think Mellifera literally kind of closes their eyes and leans. It almost does that thing where they miss a step and kind of like have to catch themselves.
Yeah, a bunch of bees immediately snap out of it and fly forward to push you back up a little bit. They all just like lean, push into you.
Thank you.
Maybe I can... There's something there.
It's not... It's from before.
So, Roa, if you would like to make the Discern Wild check,
okay.
Mellifera can not help. Because Mellifera doesn't have either of them.
But don't I automatically get one? Can't I? Don't I
yeah.
like when you go to roll, you automatically get one?
It's up to you. It's up to you. One of you can roll 2 dice, basically.
If I help, how does that the help work? Like, do I just offer
it's a bonus die?
Okay, so I'll do it.
So either Mellifera is going to roll her single die plus 1 bonus help die, or Roa is going to roll 1 die plus the discern die, and no bonus dice from Mellifera because they can't actually contribute.
I think this one's on Mellifera, so...
Yeah.
So I'm helping Mellifera.
They are definitely not explaining this well, because it's literally... This was before they were who they are now. It's so utterly...
You know what? Roll a 3rd die since this is like such a powerful sense memory for you. You can roll with mastery since it's referring to something that's happened to you in the past. Why not?
I just want to point out that I need new dice, because these ones are from when I used to play Spire, and they're spiders. Because I have a theme! My last character was all about spiders, and this character's all about bees. So now I need bee dice. Just saying. I gotta get some bee dice. But let's roll these spiders and see how they fare. Ooh! I got 2 interesting things.
You care to share with the class?
Yeah, okay. I got perfect, firstly.
So a 10?
Yeah, I got a 10. And, secondly, I rolled a 6, which I have a special ability, known as Sacred Geometry. 6 is sacred to, aperists.
I believe it's when you are rolling to do stress to something?
Dang it, or remove stress from yourself or an ally.
Yeah, okay. A 10 is the best you can get, so rolling a d6 and adding that to it isn't going to improve your situation. Okay. But it's when it comes up in a stress roll, that's when you're it's going to matter. But good to know.
I think I've been blessed by the queen, so thank you.
The bees make formation, they make formations of 6 and all start to lift off of your shoulders like as though you were some kind of carrier, carrier ship. And they start heading off to guide you where you need to go.
Oh, they know where we need to go.
As if you start following, I presume you will.
Yeah, well, I will. Do you want to come? Do you want to come along on this exciting adventure of you don't know what's happening right now? Because all you got from Mellifera was, this is a weird before smell.
And then you just go. And
you're
doing me a frighten.
Yeah. Yep. Then the bees take off and I follow. So
I feel like there's this moment where Vantage and I share a look of this is weird. And we just follow because if Mellifera is going off and doing something unpredictable, it's okay, we should probably
something's wrong.
Yeah.
So, up ahead is a crashed handcart. It seems as though, the handcarts don't have little small wheels like you would expect from a train, smaller wheels like you would expect from a real handcart. They've got big, ornate, kind of almost bicycle-sized wheels, and one has snapped or something and fallen, crashed off to the side. It's blocking the path, and a dead, a crushed surf is underneath it. Like when it fell on top of one of the surfs of an Incarnadine, and they're lifeless, kind of bleeding out, as a very impatient Incarnadine with an umbrella over their head is trying to get their serfs to do something. He's like, I thought that you'd be able to fix this a lot quicker. There's still 6 of you left. Ugh. And as you approach, you see that the umbrella is raining from the inside. Rain is pouring down on this Incarnadine, and wherever they move, as they shift around, red blades of grass grow up out of the ground. Instead of protecting against the rain, it's providing a cooling rainfall on top, over top of the Incarnadine during the sweltering heat of this particular pulse, and that's where the scent is coming from. You can smell the constant petrichor smell coming off, and little flowers bloom. Not the strange, made out of dishes and cups that you have back in Baffling Din, but actual vegetation is sort of sprouting constantly, and it changes as the Incarnadine moves away. They look at you and say, "I'm sorry, my serfs have proven to be useless. Kind of in the way here, I understand, but faulty wheel."
I look away from, I don't look at them. I look at the grass and the rain.
Their outfit is kind of is like a leathery kind of fabric that has grooves carved in it that allows the water to kind of run down their outfit like little rivers in the leather, and it's like a coolant. It's going down through them to keep them cold. Vantage, you see this as an opportunity to perhaps pay something forward and help them out. But right now, the thing has to be lifted and the wheel needs to be reattached to get them back on their way. And there's enough, it's spread out enough that there's not a lot of room to, and you can see further along another handcart is starting to make its way down.
Well, this is right in the middle, so I can give you a hand.
I would appreciate it greatly. Any number of serfs that you need, they're at your beck and call. Well, as long as that number is equal to or less than 6.
I'm gonna just not look at this person anymore. And just be like, okay, all right. So how have you guys been trying to do this? Let's see if we can't work something else out.
So as you the serfs pay no mind to the crushed one. They seem to just kind of move around and over top and stuff, and they're not stepping on the other serf, but they don't seem fazed by what's happened, and they are all they're all kind of pale pink, like a reddish tinted white, and in various kind of robes, red robes and outfits. They're also bald, completely bald, and you can see patches of gold, like where their skin is starting to turn into gold. We were trying to use our bodies as lifts. And there's like one that's like on all fours, and another one is trying to climb up underneath to lift the cart up.
pretty sure we can figure out better ways to get leverage. The first thing I'm gonna do is see if I can get the one who's passed at least out of the way. This is not a let's dig a grave right here time, but
the surf is in two pieces. On one its legs tucked underneath and its torso, where the car has crushed it, is sort of separated between them. So it's easy enough to pull them aside. Pull the two pieces aside if you like.
I'm gonna apologize to the corpse.
It doesn't respond.
Good.
So as you pull the upper half of the surf, its stomach kind of spills open somewhat, and gold coins start to spill out, as though they had been eating the coins. It's no minor sum. Money is not easy to come by down here, and there's probably a couple of dozen gold coins that spill everywhere. And before you can even reach out to grab them, Vantage, the other serfs are like sort of feasting on the coins out of their fallen brethren, and golden blood smears kind of just like spread out over their face. One of them looks at you and says, "Waste not, want not."
Sure.
Can't take it with you. And then they go back to trying to trying to use themselves as tools to lift up the.
Go ahead.
Since Vantage is taking care of the body, Mellifera will attempt to stop the remaining ones that are trying to climb on each other to, like, lift this, which seems so inefficient and, like, such a waste, and, like, it already did not work. Like, I think that Mellifera literally would, like, grab at one of the ones that was starting to tip over and use their, because they're already kind of, you know, off-kilter, just pull them back so they fall backwards.
Okay, so you're trying to drag one of the serfs away.
I'm just trying to make them stop with the, like, I think that's what Mellifera's automatic reaction would be, since they're already, like, tipping over. Just, like, knock them back and tell them to stop and wait.
Okay, well, I think that will require, since they're not interested, I'm going to require a roll from you. It will be a compel Haven roll.
Okay. Okay. I have one of those. Oh, I have another thing I could have done that would have been better, but I honestly just think Mellifera doesn't like this. I have a thing, but, I got another 10.
Oh my god.
My spider dice like me, okay.
You reach
How many
on
dice
and
did you roll?
2. I got a 2 and a 10.
You reach out and kind of grab onto the back of the robes of one of the serfs and pull them back so that they, and they bring like a handful of coins and entrails with them, and fall backwards, and they give you just like the most penitent stare, and the Incarnadine looks over and goes, "If you break it, you buy it."
Do not want them. I would, however, like to look at that, and I point at the umbrella. And I can fix this, and I point at the broken.
So the Incarnadine is an Elfir, very fabulously dressed Elfir, and is delighted as soon as you point out the umbrella. "Oh, I had this handmade. Woven from actual sky."
I'll go from being, Mellifera goes from being very, like, you know, certain and assured and just working, like, methodically to once again, like, kind of crinkling their brow, which they don't often do. How did you do this to me? You're the worst. And, they're just, like, from outside?
Of course. This is actual Destera sky woven into an umbrella for me. I find it gets quite warm down here, and this provides me with some cooling.
It's strange.
Surely you've seen stranger things in your time in the heart. Beekeeper.
Not really.
Well, then I'm sad for you.
Perhaps we think different things are strange, but I will fix this. I literally have a move about fixing things, so...
Oh, good, because
yeah.
this is something I want Advantage to try to do,
Yeah.
but I don't... I'm gonna do my best.
Well, mine takes time, so I mean, if you want to work on it, I will, like... what I have is the perfect machine. You see the cogs and gears and engines that are just echoes of the infinite, staggering majesty that is the Hive. So, given time, you can repair technological devices. Even if you don't have the right parts, you can synthesize them from your wax and bone. So, I will take some time, but I can fix this.
So, it will be a mend religion roll.
A mend religion roll?
Because these, the gold and silver of this is all representative of Incarn, and that is the domain of these folks. So if, say, Sam Vantage had the religion domain, that you'd be able to throw in a die.
Oh dang! Oh dang! We can do stuff!
We can do it!
This isn't just about fixing a wheel. This is making sure that it's up to the quality that the Incarnadine is expecting, which is the worship of Incarn is a religion, and Vantage is an expert at all.
I am an expert in religion.
Question. Because my saliva is very sticky, would I be able to offer any kind of advantage as, like, here's adhesive, which is...
Do you have mend? Do you have mend or religion?
I do have mend.
All right. Well, it's reasonable to think that the three of you could all work together. So as long as you've got mend or religion, you can throw in. How it works is narratively up to you guys. But which spit is sticky? So yeah.
Stickiest witch spit. I should have gotten die out earlier.
This is one of my favorite qualities of yours, Roa.
Important note. Helping means that you all suffer the stress together.
If I fail.
Tanks, yeah.
Which, I mean, I have had 2 very good rolls, so...
Your time has come.
The dice might no longer be in my favor.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay, I want to roll it away from... I'm worried about this being very loud.
I don't want to just deafen all of us.
Okay, here we go. Wait, this isn't... Okay.
So you have, what, 5 dice to roll this time?
I think I have 4. Right?
Yeah, because you don't have religion, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're all helping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because normally I can fix anything, but like you said, it's because they're fancy. So they... Alright, so let's see. Ooh, well... No tens.
Oh.
It's a 2, a 5, a 7, and is that a 6 or a 9? Hang on. That's a 9.
Okay, that's a success.
Okay, I was worried for a second there.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10, there's no stress, so. As you, my only question is, how do you lift it? It works, obviously. And reattaching is fine. I'm just curious as to how that works.
I have an idea if you don't have anything.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
if anyone has any ideas.
I think we might have gone back to that barbecue butcher place and taken like a giant femur or something like that.
And just wedged it underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, like just a giant lever.
I like
Sure.
it.
I was thinking of marshaling all of these serfs to work at the same time.
And just like
I think it would still require that as well.
Okay.
And as
I'm gonna
that
teach teamwork.
Yeah. As that happens, the Incarnadine does like the most sarcastic, slow clap as it's happening. It's almost as though they're trying to be sincere, but it's just not something that they're capable of. And says over to Vantage, they listen to you better than they listen to me. Are you looking for work?
Oh, I have a job. I'm sorry.
I provide the whip.
I don't have any free time.
It's taken out of your first pay, of course.
I'm happy with where I am.
Well, consider the option open. Someone who can get the serfs to organize is someone very valuable. You wait as the oncoming handcar. So you reassemble this thing off to the side, and in fact, actually, you can do some stress to the delve. So someone can roll a d4.
I don't have a D4 handy.
Hold on.
So the default damage, whether you are attacking someone or mending something or going after the delve, the default is always D4. So even unarmed, you're doing D4 to people. To it. If you have a piece of equipment that kind of applies to the situation. So for example, I convinced Malifera to grab a delve.
I don't know what it does. The barometer.
The dimensional barometer. It makes sure that the dimension is right. It checks the balance of the dimension. I don't know.
The beast can bring it up and offer it if
you have.
helpful.
It doesn't really apply to this situation.
Okay.
So
So that's why.
Yeah. I mean,
go Google
yeah. Right now, the
uses
fixing of the thing, the fixing of the thing,
the
is the roll. So because it was a success, you can go ahead and roll a d4, and we'll add that to the stress of the
2.
All right.
I think. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I think Roa, at some point through all this, leans over to the Incarnadine and says, "It is typical to offer compensation for services rendered. Roa doesn't care about this, but knows that it will strike a chord."
Is it common for services to be paid? That's news to me. It's not like it's my entire day in, day out.
Oh, pardon me. Because I thought, in the absence of any kind of discussion, that you might have thought that this was happening for free. But you would never be so selfish, would you?
I'm proud to wear my selfishness on my sleeve. No contract was formed.
Typical.
But perhaps I'll owe you one.
You are very good at that, aren't you?
Well, it is the foundation of all, isn't it?
Perhaps.
So another handcar that was oncoming is now passing by, and this one is it has huge like flaming brass bowls all around it with just like flames that are being tended constantly by serfs, and the heat is like doubling as it passes by, and it isn't hand cranked. It's being pushed along by 3 serfs on each side, and a very corpulent, chunky Incarnadine is just like dozing in the top, and he's ironically fanning himself while he dozes, even though he's causing the problem. But that's Incarnadine's for you. They pay you no mind. They say nothing to you as you pass, and they move further along the way, and you're able to get the handcart back onto the rail.
So we fixed it? Like it's back on?
Yep. And it starts along.
I would go over to Incarnadine and say, may I see it?
May you see what?
Or that. I'm
My
pointing to the
bumbershoot?
umbrella.
You wish to see my bumbershoot?
Well,
My canopy?
yes?
Are your hands clean?
They're very clean.
They
Like,
look
if they're...
sticky.
Hang on, I will let the bees come over, and if there's anything on my hands, they can, like, just, like, buzz it right
One
off.
bee comes up and like does your nails and then disappears again. Yeah.
they bee buff my...
Don't melt. And they hand the umbrella down to you.
I'd like to
And-
break it. I'd really like to just turn it inside out and break it.
Power move.
Hey, wait,
Power move.
that's what you want to do?
May I?
Sorry, this is for some reason this caught me off guard.
Why would that catch you off guard?
Power move.
I need you.
Please let me break it.
You need
What?
to roll a endure religion roll. Because breaking it is easy. Breaking it is easy. Are you trying to you don't care if the Incarnadine sees you do it?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Not even
Because
a little.
then breaking it isn't the problem. It's
Yeah.
surviving the immediate wrath of the Incarnadine. So it'll be an endure religion roll, please.
Yeah, which means I probably won't do it because I don't have any of that. So. Oh, that was a 1. I did not.
Oh,
Oh no.
I didn't.
That's double stress.
What kind of stress is this?
It's gonna be fortune stress.
Okay, I have a thing.
Where you can move it into echo.
I can move it into echo. Yeah, in the blood. You move through the heart as if blessed. Once per situation when I have echo protection, and once per situation when you take stress resistance other than echo, you can allocate it to echo.
Okay. So this is echo stress instead.
I might die in our first episode, everyone.
Alright. You take 6 echo stress.
Oofa.
So the way this manifests is you yank the umbrella out of the Incarnadine's hands and just start to twist and splinter the handle, and the bees all start like gathering at your hands and flapping and like buzzing their wings really tightly around the handle to like heat it up and warm and soften it up so you can snap it really easily. And as you break it, like smoke and flames just kind of burst up from where the splinter happens. I'll need you to roll your D12 to check for fallout. So you took 6. You have a defensive 1, so you marked 5. Right?
Yeah.
And what'd you get on
I
your
think I
D12?
did, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and D12. Hang on, I have to find a D12. This is a D12, right? Yes, this is a D12.
You want to roll higher than 5?
No, I did not. What does that mean? What did I do?
So what was your result?
3.
Okay, so rolling equal to or lower means that you suffer fallout. If the number you roll is 6 or lower, you get minor fallout. If it's 7 or higher, you get major fallout. So you're going to get minor echo fallout.
Okay.
I'm going to deal... So I made everything, all the fallout into cards. I'm going to deal you 2 minor echoes, and you're going to choose which one you want to have happen to you.
I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Wow.
All right.
Hey everyone,
Ooh,
this is a game.
So the so you're gonna pick from those 2, Jess.
Oh, okay, where'd you send?
I dealt them to you in Roll20.
Oh, okay.
Just discard the one that you don't want face down onto the board, and I'll get rid of it.
So hang on, it's in...
It's in your hand.
It's in my... Oh, I see it. Okay.
The Incarnadine breaks into a rage immediately. It is obvious that a lot of money was spent on this. Vantage and Roa, you might... The Incarnadine snaps their fingers, and the serfs, who are kind of lost in a almost playful reverie, because this is as close to a break as they've ever had, where you're just this brief conversation. They all start clambering over to the side of the train car that you're standing on, and start.
Should I give this to you?
Discard the one.
Oh,
discard the one
that.
Keep the one in your hand that you want. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, that one can go away. This one's more fun.
Okay. The serfs snap into action and start climbing over to the side that Mellifera's on, and one of them leaps forward, and Mellifera just sort of folds in the middle, and disappears.
Can I do a thing before I disappear, though?
Not really, but what did you
Dang
have
it.
in
No,
mind?
it's fine then.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
tell me what you had in mind.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Tell me what you had in mind.
No, it's good.
Is
I
it killing
disappeared.
everybody or whatever?
No.
But you could say
no.
something you want.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I disappeared. I folded in half. Like
Is that your fallout?
like a like a book or.
So, when you take minor fallout, you get rid of all of the stress related to that fallout. So you can actually clear out all of your echo stress now, Mellifera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you take major fallout, you get rid of all of your stress across all things.
Okay.
It's like the stress coalesces into the fallout and becomes a real problem. And it seems the heart has taken its first swipe at Mellifera, or helped it, Mellifera. I don't know. The Incarnadine looks towards Vantage and Roa and says, "Someone must pay for this."
Consider the debt settled.
The Incarnadine reaches to their side, pulls out a giant ledger, and writes down something into it, commits something from mind to book, and the serfs start to charge. They start to scramble towards you two. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna mute because I'm not here.
I want to leap over the serfs and get that book.
Okay. That would be a sorry, flipping through so many things. You're gonna have to evade them. So it's an evade religion roll as you dive over them towards the.
Yeah, I don't have any of those. I'm not built for this, but I think Roa would still go for it because Roa wants that book to not have writing about them in it.
Have you got Warren?
No, I just
Okay.
have a cult.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there is one thing that I'm good at, and that is killing things. So.
Okay.
Shoot.
Sorry, Roa, you don't want to take the... You're not going to attempt it?
I will.
Okay,
Um,
so it's just a D10 for you, I guess. As you... And there's blood stress, unfortunately, on the...
Yes, there is blood stress. I got a
And
2.
Vantage, you want to pull out some kind of weapon and fire it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a little close for the rifle, but that's what we got. So we're gonna shoot.
So for when you're firing weapons, there is supply stress on the line because you're using ammunition and time and that kind of thing, to fire them. So for you, I will need a hunt religion or hunt Warren if you have either of those.
I have religion, so it's 1. Hold on, I can get this. I can do this. I've done this before. I've rolled dice in heart, I think. So I start with 1 D10 and then 1 for the relevant domain. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And relevant skill if you have.
I know I have kill, not hunt.
Oh, okay. Then roll kill. That's fine.
Okay.
So Roa, you dive over these, and one of them with one of the serfs, there's just the sneer, just flicks this golden jagged blade out and just holds it up, and you do all the work as you glide over top, and it gets dragged across your belly. You land in the back, the sort of the back of the handcar that kind of carries a couple of big chests and luggage, of the Incarnadine. And they turn the book around to you, and it just says ode, blood, and then in brackets 6 gallons. That's what they've valued your debt at. What did you get, Vantage?
I got the highest is a 6.
Okay, that's a success with some stress. So you will take a little bit of supply stress. Roa, you took 4 blood stress, and I'll need you to roll that D12 against your total.
Total stress from all the different types?
Of them, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I rolled a 10.
Okay, you're good, but you still keep that blood stress.
Yep.
And Vantage, you take 1 supply stress as you fire your rifle at the nearest serf. So you can roll your stress die for the weapon. I'll remind you all that you have your equipment all on the board here, so you can keep track of what your different things do. So in the case of your hunting rifle, it's a D6. Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Ha ha ha.
A big chunk of the side of one of the serfs is just ripped out, and it's blown back against the handcart. It clutches onto it. If you want to use it again, it has the reload tag. It just means that you're going to make yourself vulnerable while you're trying to reload it. Do you want to reload?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be getting you to roll in a second. You need to roll your D12 against your stress since you took some.
Oh, I did.
Supply stress.
Here we go. I got more than 1.
Okay, perfect. Things are... Oh, everyone's taken at least 1 action. So there is a sound like air rushing out of something, and then there is a buzzing that is very loud, and then a pop, and Mellifera just unfolds in the middle of the air and drops down from seemingly nowhere. I will rewind just briefly to tell Mellifera what they saw while they were disappeared. You found yourself floating. Your body had your body had gotten soaked by the rain while you were breaking the umbrella, and you still are holding onto it, the two pieces of it, and you find yourself drifting in like, and all you can it's warm, and it's like all you can see is red. It's just a void of red all around you, and there ahead of you, sort of like when you're deep underwater and there's like a light, you know, in the mist, in the mud and the dirt and stuff underwater, like some kind of bioluminescent fish. It's like a little ball of light that's drifting towards you. You're able to breathe even though your lungs feel heavy from whatever this liquid is that you're drifting in, this warm pulsing liquid, and the light drifts close to you, and it starts to spread out a little bit, and you see Baffling Din. It's just the silhouette, but you know that that's what this is a vision of. And there's like a pop sound as well, like, again, like the air or something like or even like a bone is breaking, and you watch as the silhouette of the Baffling Din just expands out. It starts growing at a rapid pace and starts to fill the entire vision, and it spills out of the light and into where you are, and you see people being just crushed by the overflowing chaos of the living space of Baffling Din, just filling the cavern and spreading further. And it pushes you up against a wall that you don't know, you can't see behind you, and that's what forces you back out from this vision. And you drop down just as the gun rings out from Vantage's rifle, and a surf is bleeding out.
So did I saw Vantage shoot a surf?
That's the situation you dropped into. You may not
Okay.
100% know what's going on, but violence has broken out. Do you have an action you'd like to do?
I was thinking about it, but that's why I was trying to determine what I see when I reappear. I see
The same scene, but everyone is angry. Roa is holding onto a chest wound, a small chest wound, and it's not like too deep, but they've been cut and are in the back of the car.
Not a good time for talking anymore, so I probably shouldn't do
I will.
that.
That's never true.
Okay.
Characters have resistances like you do. Like you collect stress in your 5 resistances. Baddies have them as well. But a resistance doesn't mean damage. Stress doesn't mean damage, physical damage necessarily. You can do. It also means that just their willingness to do what you want them to do. So, if you reduce a creature to 0 resistance, they do what it is that you want them to do. If dying is what you want them to do, then that's what happens. But you can do things like compel rolls to convince somebody, and that does damage to that does stress to their resistance. But it isn't in the form of physical. It's more you breaking them down or convincing them and that kind of thing. So, as long as it reduces down to 0, and as long as what you're doing makes sense narratively, you can do damage with almost every one of your skills to damage, quote unquote. You can reduce the resistance of things with almost any move, as long as it makes sense.
Because I have my intoxicant, but I worry about what it would do here. It
might give you time to get away.
Yeah, I might do it. So I might use my intoxicant, which is an ability I have. So I think I reappear and I kind of resettle myself and you're
right near the Incarnadine.
Yeah, and I just take a second and I probably even rub my wrists together and kind of I'm just almost like warming up my flesh a little bit, and just opening the pores. All the bees are kind of buzzing around, rumbling, and I would just like to look up at the Incarnadine and inform them things from outside, so far outside, do not belong in the heart. This does not belong here. You were bringing something far too much. The sky does not belong in the heart. It is a wrong place for it. It perhaps is fine elsewhere, and you may have this back, and I will, like, give them back the pieces to do with as you like. Perhaps it will suit you well elsewhere, but not down here. And I want to use my intoxicant to try and convince them. So intoxicant, it's pheromone glands, pecker and blossom on your wrists and your neck, in alluring, irresistible sense, and I gain compel, and I can convince them that they're
It's once per session, so they become driven solely by lust, hunger, or a need for shelter, whichever they desire.
Yeah,
most.
something else that they just really want to do. They want to do whatever is like a base desire that they most. I'm just worried that it's kill me, but you know, they're just going to be driven by a need.
There's
now.
an almost visible cloud of pheromones that sort of drift up into the nose of the Incarnadine. Sort of wafted by the wings of the bees, and
cartoony, like little, like it's like warm pie smell. It's like
they're weaving a little cloud of this pheromone pollen over towards the Incarnadine, who is literally about to bring the book, which is like, you know, huge and bound in brass and gold. Is literally about to swing it down on Roa in the vulnerable position, when the soporific smell gets their nose, and their eyes kind of, their pupils grow, and they look around at the situation, and they see Vantage loading another round into the rifle, and they see the two halves of their serf. And they see the other one bleeding out, who's fallen to their knees, and self-preservation kicks in. I will find you, and you will repay the debt. But enough of my property's blood has been shed today. You can keep what's left of them. And then they snap their fingers again, and the other serfs get on and start pumping me. They're heading in the direction you're heading in, which is going to be awkward for the rest of the walk, I guess. But yeah, they start to leave. Roa, you're still in the cart while this is happening. The serfs are eyeing you very like they're shooting daggers at you. They, in a way that they think that maybe you're going to take their job from them.
I think I probably, like, I give the book, you know, a long glance, but reading the situation, realize like it would be unwise to do anything else, and I think Roa's just going to take a leave off and
I mean,
regroup.
You'll see them again soon enough, I think.
Oh, I want to get a name though.
Okay, give a discern religion roll, I think is what we're looking for there. You're in a rough enough, dangerous enough situation that you need to roll.
A quiet knock.
Alright, I have discern, but I don't have religion.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fine for now. Yep, go ahead.
Okay,
roll.
I got a 9.
The name. You want a name, huh? Okay. 1 second. The name written on the book is Boswell Pink. the accounts owing of Boswell Pink.
Roa can't stand the idea that there's some kind of information recorded in writing about them.
Sorry.
We'll deal with it. Yeah. Roa's Order the Sanguine Tongue thinks that all writing is a perversion of language, and like it's taking something that's supposed to be ephemeral and making it permanent, and that is just like so antithetical to the nature of language to them that it's like writing is bad. But that's also how I got in trouble, because I decided to read a book.
So as you kind of climb out of the cart, they don't move very fast. You drop down, and just a few steps ahead of you, you see this injured serf that's like fallen on their back, and they're bleeding out. And they cough up a couple of silver pieces and say, the master's got you now. Debt's owing.
Well, I'm sure. Was it this Mr., Mrs., Ms. Pink? We will have words, I'm sure. Don't you worry.
Oh, you're in the ledger. Words have been had. It's only time now, and not long. And they grasp at your. Well, you kind of have a loincloth type situation going on. They
I've got like a robe.
Roll for pants. They grasp at you and they pull you. They're trying to pull at you and pull themselves up and says, a note has been taken.
Out of character question, does this count as someone standing against my order?
I'm giving you this opportunity, yes.
Okay. I looked at him and was like, oh, maybe words have been taken, but they will be taken back. You will not pervert language any longer. And I slip my sacred blade out. And I'm just going to, I want to drive it, up, into the soft bit under their skull.
Yeah, and because that's easy, there's no roll needed for this. And there's just a little bit of a little snap as some bone breaks as you push it in, and they just slump dead. Their blood mixed with some gold flakes sort of just spreads out. And I think that is where we will probably end this for tonight. Or this afternoon, or whatever time it is right now. It's meaningless. Yes, so that was where we'll end our first session 1 of the Heart. Hope everyone had a good time. Thank you for everyone who was watching.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Sorry. Jess is sorry to Sam and Ryan, but Mellifera is not sorry, so I apologize on their behalf. Oh, Sam, you're muted.
This is fine. We just need to start next time. Conversation. It'll be fine.
Just add, okay, umbrellas are bad to the list.
It's not the umbrella.
These bee people are confusing, but we can make a list.
We can make a list.
I'm sorry. They brought in Sky from outside.
Yeah, and then they wrote down words about us.
Yeah, they're bad. We had to. Not all the other horrible things they did. Specifically, the rain umbrella and the writing.
Vantage standing there, putting the gun away. We're gonna have to learn about communication.
Oh my goodness, that was I feel like that went mostly
That-
pretty well.
That went great. I'm not dead.
That's true.
Goal for session 1 accomplished.
I really thought I might die, honestly, at that point. I was like, as soon as Jordan was like, what? I was like, oh no, this is a real bad. I didn't do a small bad, I did a big bad.
It's always good when you make the GM question what you just said, because they can't believe you said that.
yeah, that's when you know you did good. So yeah, with that said, let's go around and tell us who you are, where we can find you, what stuff you're up to, and all that good stuff. Let's go in reverse order, starting with Jordan.
I'm Jordan at Made of Cartoons on Twitter and Instagram. You can now catch me here officially every other Saturday until Halloween, running Heart. I'm very excited for this campaign. We've been talking about it a lot and doing a lot of like world building and stuff, in the Discord and behind the scenes. And so I hope I've given a suitable introduction to our weird little haven and the world surrounding it. Thank you again to Rowan, Rook, and Deckard for giving us things. We'll get the email from Eric for that. And I want to say a special if they're still in the chat, Felix. I was so happy that you're available for me to commission you to do these portraits, because they have made us all so happy. It is so cool having them brought to life in the style of the Heart. Thank you.
There was definite shrieking.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I did a scream.
I'm gonna wait to see what NPC floats to the surface, and I might commission one last piece of our favorite NPC, because as the GM, I never get the player art, but I'll get my. I kind of want to see Audacia's shoulder pad 80s power suit, so it might be Audacia. We'll see. All right. Anyway, Jordan, Made of Cartoons. Talk too much. Who's next?
Next up is Ryan. Oh, you're muted. Again. It's not just me, right?
No, we've lost Ryan.
Yeah, not hearing anyone.
We can see you. You're moving. We can see.
Do you have a prepared
Oh,
speech?
interesting. The captioning is still working. So maybe check just in Zoom if your audio's coming through. We can go. Sam, do you mind?
Yeah, I'll do me. Hi, I'm Sam. Thank you for coming. Hope you liked Vantage and the accidental accent. That's probably gonna stick around because I didn't choose to do that.
You didn't plan to do that accent, really?
No,
Because it's
I wasn't gonna do it. I do have a gunslinger in a D&D campaign that also uses the cowboy aesthetic / accent, so I think it just happened.
Amazing.
So, you can find me at Sam on Damiel on Twitter and other places. And I do have one little thing to promo. It's not so little. You can catch me and Jess this Tuesday on Salty Sweet Games, where we're going to play the Roll20 exclusive RPG Burn Bright. First session this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check the time near you for what that equates to. And I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about Heart. I'm very excited about Burn Bright. Things are looking up.
Got some good games. Good games. Ryan, any luck? No.
The captions are
Your
working.
captioner is working.
Everyone just read real fast.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead and say what you were saying, Jordan.
Oh, I don't know. You can just narrate. You can just say it and we'll read it in the caption.
Well, I was gonna go get... Should already had this prepped. I was gonna go get, because we have exclamation point Heartcast at any point in time. We'll give you all of our wonderful casts links and stuff like that, and then Ryan has an itch.io, which I am grabbing right now.
Ryan, did you trade your legs? Did you trade your voice for legs? Did you do that? Oh, you got 2 legs already. You're getting greedy.
Well, 4.
My true form.
Wait!
Wait, we heard you.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing you bring it back was my true form, which is terrifying.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm on Twitter at @TheOneTrueK. You can find my stuff on my itch, which is rcon.itch.io. And I've also been collaborating on an upcoming RPG called The Wild Sea, which is about sailors exploring a treetop sea full of strange megaflora and megafauna. Really cool game, fantastic art, and you can find that at thewildsea.co.uk. And there's a free playtest package there right now, so you should check it out.
Jess, stop looking so disappointed. Someone will make an RPG for you someday.
That sounds so good, and I need it. Oh my god.
It's fantastic.
Oh my god. I need you to give me that link at some point so I can.
It's not often I get to play a mushroom person who can release spores and also cook fantastic food. So
Y'all just watched Jess fall in love.
Oh my god. Dustin in the chat is freaking out too. Okay, you're gonna have to give this to us so that we can have the links ready next time.
Let me
for
put
next
the link
episode.
in
Yeah, if you got him, put him in the. I don't know. Drop the link in the Discord. Drop it in the Zoom, and I could put it in the chat now or whatever. But yeah. In the meantime, thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We want to thank Roll20 for the amazing Spotlight program. We want to thank Ronrick and Deckard for the wonderful giveaway. And that was not the only one. We will be doing another giveaway of heart content later on in the season. We will be... Oh, you got it? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So the link to that awesome sounding game is now in the chat, so check that out. Yeah, if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can find everyone's links down below. I will link all the cool people who are here, go and find them, and all the cool stuff they do. Check out this awesome game, Heart. It is heckin' wonderful, and then come back for more episodes, because we're gonna be doing this every other Saturday at the same Heart time, same Heart channel. Getting up to this sort of nonsense. So please come back for that. Like Sam said, you can also catch me on Tuesdays starting next week over on Salty Sweet Games, where we're going to be playing Burn Bright, and I'm so excited. If you haven't already, go check out mine and Sam and Salty Sweet Games Twitters, because there has been a lot of good art there too. Oh, and thanks to Felix for this beautiful art. Thank you, Jordan, for running this game. Thank you all for playing. I'm sorry for being a brat, but Mellifera could not stand that umbrella.
No reason to be sorry out of game.
Awesome. So yeah, thank you all so much for being here, for being heckin' awesome. The other announcement I have is we will be going to space on this channel too, starting next Sunday. So come out, we're doing Dark Matter, which is... We were running the Conspiracy in the Stars campaign, but honestly, I'm probably going to start with the campaign that is prepped, and I'm probably going to change it. And my if you don't already know the Dark Matter content, it's currently up on Kickstarter right now, and it is already well past the point of getting funded for mechs. And my crew is already demanding mechs, so I'm going to try and see, no promises, but I will be trying to see if we can get mechs into Dark Matter a little early, a little... Listen, one of the players is actually one of the writers, so just saying, might be working on trying to make that happen. But yeah, in the meantime, I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being awesome. We're gonna go raid WebDM, who are a really, really heckin' cool channel doing lots of TTRPG content, and right now they're doing the Dracula dossier. So we will see you over there, and hopefully we'll see you back here for more games sometime soon. Thank you all so heckin' much. Heart your heckin' faces. see you later, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for watching.